What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we got a 2006 Accord, 2003 to 7 is the same thing. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is also similar procedure. After that is still similar procedure till 2018. It gets a little awkward with the turbo. Anyways, the procedure here for replacing the radiator is very simple. First of all, this car is overheating. It's overheating because we got a radiator leak. This is a 2.4 liter engine. V6 is the same procedure, a little bit tight fitness. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to guide you guys through this whole video here, whole process. So first of all, this thing is empty. Do not touch it if it's nice and hot. Let it cool off a few hours. And we're going to take out the radiator cap, put that to the side. We're going to disconnect this little guy. We're going to drain the antifreeze from all around there. That's where the drain plug is right there. That white little guy right there. Just turn it, put a bucket down below. You don't even got to lift the vehicle up. We're going to take off this screw here. It's a clip screw. Clip, 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 clip. Not clip, 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 screw, clip. This shred comes out. Then we got a bolt down here and a bolt down here. This radiator mounts come off. This radiator hose come out. The fan connector come out. The fan connector come over here. AC connector over there. There's a strap tie there. We'll remove that off. Usually it's a clip there, but this one has a strap tie. So you can even take off the fans and get it out of the way. And remove this, take out this with a 10 millimeter there, the fan, and everything should just come out. Lower radiator hose, we can try to manage to get it off there, or we can try to manage to get it off. I would rather do it from the bottom than up there. Anyways, let's start the procedure. So to start off, get yourself a clean bucket, just toss it down there, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn that drainer. And any antifreeze that's in the system is just gonna come out. I'm gonna go into my bucket. Okay, there it is. There we have it. Center it. We're gonna wait a good 20 minutes, but meanwhile we can start taking things apart. Start off with removing some of these clips here. There you go. Usually they break, just like that hurt. Be careful. There you go. So that's how they come out. These things, you gotta lift them up, and then it still might be stuck underneath. So just try to assist it. There it goes. Let me grab my light so it's better for us. Okay, so try to come more higher than that, and then the clip should come off. I might just start tossing things to the side here, because you know what? I'll save them up here. Come on. These clips are not in your hand. If they're breaking, let them break. That's fine. Buy yourself a new set. There you go. Sometimes they don't even want to come out. Then I just break them off completely, because they're old and brittle. Nothing we can do there, okay? And if you take it easy, if you're not doing the radiator, you don't want to do that, because you will damage the radiator. But right now, we don't care about the radiator. So there it goes. Come on. See, they just, me lifting them, they just break. Throw some WD-40 on if you want to try to save them. So we got one over here. We got one over here that doesn't want to come out. Gonna have to come out, because we can't do the job with you in there, buddy. So these little guys, can't put force on them. Just turn them lightly and it will come up. If it doesn't, then use your screwdriver. You can use a flathead screwdriver also instead of this type of tool, and this clip comes out. Same procedure on the other side. And so you can't push down on it, because then it will just go back in, because this is just a clip screw retainer there. Once they come up a little bit, you can even put your tool down here and turn it with the screwdriver at the same time. So the short should just come out right here. There's nothing holding this guy anymore. It's just gonna be like kind of jammed up in here. And even if you don't want to remove it, you can work on it. It's 10 millimeter here, 10 millimeter over here. But this baby's out. So pretty much, I don't want to take off these yet, because then the whole radiator will move. Let's remove, I'm going to remove this connector here. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit tough. You also gotta remove this little guy right here, because this is like kind of onto the radiator fan. This guy, try to get this out too and make your life a little bit easy. These two little clips here, they kind of usually fall down, so let's just save them right here. Okay, and this is kind of like into that grommet. So there you go, you got more than enough clearance. This is out of the way, and now we can get these connectors out. Okay, let me see how I can do this. Ah, damn thing just came out of the housing. So I'm gonna just disconnect this. I'm not gonna be able to capture on the camera. I need both hands. Do the same thing over here. Disconnect this little guy. So you just gotta push down on this tab here and remove that connector. I will show you that in a moment. Start off with removing some of these clips here. There you go. Usually they break just like that. Hurt. Oh, be careful. There you go. So that's how they come out. This thing, so you gotta lift them up, and then it still might be stuck underneath. So just try to assist the edge. There it goes. Let me grab my light so it's better for us. Okay, so try to come more higher than that, and then the clip should come off. I might just start tossing things to the side here, because you know what? I'll save them up here. Come on. These clips are not in your hand. If they're breaking, let them break. That's fine. Buy yourself a new set. There you go. Sometimes they don't even want to come out. Then I just break them off completely, because they're old and brittle. Nothing we can do there, okay? And if you take it easy, if you're not doing the radiator, you don't want to do that, because you will damage the radiator. But right now, we don't care about the radiator. So there it goes. Come on. See, they just, me lifting them, they just break. Throw some WD-40 on if you want to try to save them. So we got one over here. We got one over here that doesn't want to come out. You're gonna have to come out, because we can't do the job with you in there, buddy. So these little guys, can't put force on them. Just turn them lightly and it will come up. If it doesn't, then use your screwdriver. You can use a flathead screwdriver also instead of this type of tool, and this clip comes out. Same procedure on the other side. And so you can't push down on it, because then it will just go back in, because this is just a clip screw retainer there. Once they come up a little bit, you can even put your tool down here and turn it with the screwdriver at the same time. So the short should just come out right here. There's nothing holding this guy anymore. It's just gonna be like kind of jammed up in here. And even if you don't want to remove it, you can work on it. It's 10mm here, 10mm over here. But this baby's out. So pretty much, I don't want to take off these yet, because then the whole radiator will move. Let's remove, I'm gonna remove this connector here. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit tough. You also gotta remove this little guy right here, because this is like kind of onto the radiator fan. This guy, try to get this out too and make your life a little bit easy. These two little clips here, they kind of usually fall down, so let's just save them right here. Okay, and this is kind of like into that grommet. So there you go, you got more than enough clearance. This is out of the way, and now we can get these connectors out. Okay, let me see how I can do this. Damn thing just came out of the housing. So I'm gonna just disconnect this. I'm not gonna be able to capture on the camera. I need both hands. Do the same thing over here. Disconnect this little guy. So you just gotta push down on this tab here and remove that connector. I will show you that in a moment. Okay, so I got the clip off there, connector off there, connector over here. I did move this, and this might be like a little snap retainer there, and there might be one more down there for this side. And then there's going to be a sensor down there all the way down below. So these got to come off because we're going to remove the fan separately. That's what we're going to do. Okay, that comes off. Now I'm going to use a different plier. So one thing about this clamp here, just notice once I remove this clamp and I push it back, there's some markings here, okay? That clamp's gotta come and sit on the same spot, okay? Especially in the bottom, because it will leak and you won't even know it, okay? And it might start to drip a little bit later on because the grip already has made in that spot, and you have changed the grip spot, and then it's not gonna stop the leak. Okay, so we're gonna leave this reservoir in here. It got a little bit of fluid in there, so I'm gonna remove this 10mm, this 10mm, and this 10mm, and the fan should come out. Just be careful with this wiring, nothing is connected. And same thing with the AC connector down there. It might be clipped down there. This one has strap tie because somebody must have worked on this before. Anyways, let's keep it going. Okay, now we're gonna take this 10mm wrench counterclockwise if you're looking at it from the other side. That's out. That's one. Save them. Oh, wrong the way. Wrong the way. I meant to say it was the wrong way. Okay, that comes out. And once I remove this one right here, hopefully nothing is attached to it, and this thing should just lift out. We might have 2 transmission lines down there that we're gonna have to remove. We'll get to that in a moment, but check out the radiator all around. This is leaking crazy. Anyways, this might be just stuck down there. Just kind of pull on it, and nothing should be holding this fan right now. If something's holding, it might be just this wiring harness on this side. Okay, something on this side is holding it. Either it's getting stuck or something is holding it. I'm gonna put my arm down there. Yep, we got there you go. The little clip for the harness that goes down to the coolant temperature sensor in the radiator. And the fan comes out. And that's how you remove the fan. Just a couple of bolts, connectors around it. And there it is. We still... Okay, we're gonna put a new clamp there. Look at that clamp. The clamp is shot, but the radiator was leaking from right here. So this sensor right here is a coolant temperature sensor into the radiator. And when you do this kind of stuff, replace it all. Sometimes these pins even break inside this, but this one didn't. I had a car that pins broke inside. It is left behind in there. So we don't have much left there. We just gotta wait. Pull on this clamp, take out this, and get a bolt ready. Stick a bolt in there. Same thing here, because it's gonna leak transmission fluid. But let's do one step at a time. You're not gonna see me do none of these. So remove this clamp, take off this pipe, new clamp goes there, and these look pretty good. So you take off all these, 1 and 2 bolts, and the whole radiator will come out. But we still gotta wait till it drains out. But meanwhile, I can at least, that goddamn clamp is facing down. Sometimes you run into crap. But all right, I'm gonna get those off and then just continue the video after that. Okay, so I got the pipe here from the radiator. You can even use the needle plier like this. Turn the whole thing with the clamp on it, and then the clamp will start to face on the top. Same thing with these, and remove. I got both of these off, and that. Put the drainer back in. So now we're down to the radiator top. So 10mm here. Jesus. I don't want to strip that. Then it really had to kind of rust and get stuck there. There you go. Get out of my face. So that can stay in there. So this radiator mount comes off. This radiator mount comes right off. And the radiator stands alone. We do need that sensor out of there, so we're gonna take the radiator back there and leave it back there. So moment of truth for this baby to come out. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably set up our camera like over here somewhere. So you know what, I'll just hold on to it and I give you guys a good freaking action right here. So this is, okay, it's not a good lighting there. That's a better lighting there. So this guy's gonna come out just like that. All you gotta do is lift it out of there nicely and gently. The whole radiator comes right out. And I'm gonna just put this to the side over here. We're gonna just let it sit there. Let me get my light. So check that out. The radiator simply just comes right up. And this thing is all shot. But money to somebody, a scrap guy. You do need the plastic pieces down here. So that goes on to the new radiator. That's the mount. You can even take that mount and put it in the bottom. Clean this area up. But I'll do that. You won't see that in the video. But where did it go? There's the second mount, which is from this side. So just take a rag or so and clean this surface up. And you don't gotta go crazy. That's gotta come out. We're gonna have to figure out what size that is. And it should just turn out. Everything else will be new with the radiator. Got a 17mm socket here on a 3/8 drive ratchet. It's a deep socket. And counterclockwise, again, we're gonna go down. Okay, we're gonna hold that radiator in place. Come on. I could have used my impact on it, but I'd rather show you guys this way. It is gonna have some type of O-ring or which stayed behind. So pay attention to that. Okay. There you go. If the radiator comes with a new one, use it. If not, this older one will do the trick. I would kind of flip it around. And that's where that goes. I'm going to let this thing sit right here till we get the radiator. So this is a very important sensor. It commands the fan to come on. As soon as the radiator gets hot, it commands the radiator fan to come on. And that's what it is. Your car can overheat because if this goes bad and the fans won't come out, the two pins are fine in there. Anyways, let's wait for our new radiator. All right, guys, we got the radiator 3185 CSF. Nothing else I could get, but radiator's a radiator. We're gonna remove this little guy right here. This is where, yep, this is where it goes, the sensor. And we're gonna simply just take this sensor. It doesn't come with no hardware, nothing like that. We're gonna plug this sensor in, and we're gonna lock it up. And all you just hand tight, okay? It doesn't have to be like nothing crazy tight, okay? And even hand tight is too much. That's more than enough right there. Okay, make sure this is tight. These usually come tight. Just check them, they mark them, so that means you know it, okay? So this and this right here is gonna go into the rubber mounts right there. So very simple job. Oh, beautiful. It comes with the new radiator cap. Let's move that. This is how I took it out, and this is how it goes back in. Very simple and easy. Just make sure the legs go into the rubber and you will feel it drop. There you go, perfect. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this little guy and I am gonna lock it up here. I'm gonna take this little guy. I am gonna lock up the radiator so the radiator doesn't move anymore. So remember, our bolts on the floor here, this one goes here. This was the second one here. I'm only gonna show you a little bit. After that, you guys can finish up the job, and it should be pretty easy. Okay, I do got videos on bleeding the system. All you do is top off the fluid, fill it up. It's gonna probably take 1.5 gallons or 2 gallons maximum. This would be a good time to change the thermostat and everything. And the reason why I say that is you fill up everything. Once everything is back together, you fill it up, put the heat on, let the heat circulate, let the car run, the radiator fan has to come on, go for a spin, come back, let it cool off. It's gonna burp itself, and you're gonna have to open the radiator cap, check it again, do the same thing in, top it off, drive around for a little bit, come back 2 to 3 times. You can check the next day. These are pretty safe. They're self-bleeding, so they don't give you any trouble. So the clamp on that was kind of destroyed. We're gonna put a new clamp. So here it is, a clamp. You guys might want the clamp part number. There you go. That's what you need. So it is. Make sure you put it in an angle where it's not gonna hit anything. And like I told you on the top, make sure you angle it in a way where it's safe, good, nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all this back together, then we'll get the radiator fan in. Just tighten that up and don't go crazy, just enough where it grabs it. And I'll put all the pipes in and then I will show you. Do not forget to connect this little guy and do it right now. And make sure it clicks, okay? Make sure it grabs on. Okay, we're done. Got that pipe in, got that pipe in. This is the transmission line. Send and return, cools it off inside. Clamp is on, clamp is on, clamp is tight. Make sure this clamp is not gonna interfere with the fan. Sensors in, the connectors are brittle, so I put a little bit of silicone on it. This thing kind of moved out of the housing, but we can always fix that later, no worries. And I'm not worried about any of this harness. We can just let it sit right here to the side. Time for the fan. This job is pretty much done, okay? Well, the hardest part from here on is to put the antifreeze in, put all the connectors in, make sure every single connector that we removed is in. So same thing here with this fan. It's gotta sit in the bottom and below, okay? So if it doesn't sit there, it's probably most likely not gonna line, first of all. So make sure it sits in the spot on the legs. Once it's there, it should align. I'll show you that. So once it sits on both legs, I had to kind of look at it from this angle all the way down there. You can see it from the bottom. Once you have it there, this thing should simply, let me just put this in right now. You should do it later, but I'm gonna do it right now. You should be able to capture these 3 bolts nice and simple. And they only go a couple of threads inside. This doesn't even reach for some reason. Let me try this one. There you go. Oh, that one doesn't reach. I don't know why. The clamp is kind of busted. All right, I'll get these in and then I'll show you. So I am disappointed with this aftermarket bullshit. So I only got a new bolt. It's the 8mm from the back head. Make sure it's not long like this one is. I had more than enough clearance, but if I were to put this here, it would have cracked hole right through the radiator and here. So make sure you put it in the safe spot. I need to find one more, but I do want to end this video right now because I'm kind of ticked off with these aftermarket shits. So make sure you put the connector in. If you don't, your fan's not going to come on and your car's going to overheat. And this connector was kind of over here, but it's kind of broken. And these retainers, if they don't break, make sure like this one's inside the fan. We don't want that to go inside the fan. This thing got to go over here. And this goes here. Kind of disappointed with the bolts, but nothing I can do here. So I do want to kind of finish the job though, so we don't have to talk about it for next 10 more minutes. And this goes in here and this goes in here. Make sure that thing slips in there. So this connector's in. If you took out the compressor fan, make sure that's in. This radiator fan gotta be connected. Like I said, if you don't connect these, it's gonna most likely overheat. And this thing's supposed to be in here, but all this stuff just breaks over time. I need to put something down there, but we got everything is in. Double check your work, make sure everything's hitting the radiator, and this baby is gonna come on. And remember what I told you about the clamps. It's gotta come back to its spot. So I'm gonna just unsnap this if I'm able to do it right now. If not, then I'll do it later. But make sure you don't forget, I hate these little guys. They're hard to work with and they want to make your life miserable. But I'll take care of that. After that, open your radiator cap, top off the fluid, make sure there's no more leaks, drain plug is closed, and everything is in. Add maybe a quarter transmission fluid to the radiator. Shouldn't matter, but you should do it because some of it just stayed behind in there. Anyways, Job well done, guys. Make sure you put the shroud in. Make sure you put the clips in. Double check your work. Let the car run. Add antifreeze. Gallon and a half. I got the original fluid sitting around here. So this is what you need. Gallon and a half. Just pour it in here. After that, start the car. Close the cap. Start the car. Let it run. There should be no leaks. Let it run for a little bit. Let it cool off. Check the antifreeze. Top it off again. Go for a spin after that with the radiator cape on. Heat on. Everything should be working. So thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. See you guys on the next video. Okay, so then I'm gonna put the shroud in. I got the clamp to the position that I wanted. All you gotta do is play around with it. Oh my God, nah, I can't make a mess right now. The whole job went clean. So I like to use original Honda OEM antifreeze, and the customer did put blue in there, but maybe somebody flushed it for him. But all is gone. Fresh antifreeze is going in. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna be slow. I had a funnel system called Lily. You can buy that for $32 on Amazon. And you just dump all the fluid in there. You can even start the car with the funnel on it, and it will just bleed itself. It'll burp itself, but no need to do that. Put the cap on, drive around, check after it cools off. Never all the antifreeze comes out of the system, so there is some antifreeze behind in the system. All right, it's almost there. I need to get a little bit more antifreeze. Maybe I'll get lucky with the 1 gallon. It seems like it's going down, but it is going to go down. So I'll get more antifreeze. Meanwhile, I'll put the shroud in here. So this little guy, hey, get out of there. So this goes kind of underneath it. And each side it goes underneath the fender liner there, fender there. There we have it. Now we're gonna start the car. We're gonna put the heat on full blast and keep the fan in like a middle speed. Don't need too much. You should start to get heat. Let's change the mode to here. Okay, you should start to get the heat once the temperature go up, but make sure you put the radiator cap on, and make sure you check for leaks. There should be no leaks. So thank you for watching my video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.